You've been praying the same prayer for 243 days. You kept count. The job hasn't come. The relationship hasn't healed. The diagnosis hasn't changed. And somewhere deep down, you're asking the question you're almost afraid to say out loud. Is anyone actually listening? Are my prayers doing anything at all? Here's what most of us were never taught. Prayer working and prayer being answered are not the same thing. There are 4 real biblical signs that your prayers are doing something, even when nothing around you looks different. Stay with me because one of these signs changed everything about how I read the book of Romans. To understand why we get prayer so wrong, we have to go back to how Jesus himself described it. Jesus told a parable specifically for people who were tired of waiting and about to quit. Luke 18, verse 1. Luke actually tells us the point of the parable before Jesus even tells it. Always pray. Not pray until you see results, always pray. That distinction matters enormously. But Jesus wasn't the only one to say this. James gives us a striking example. The prophet Elijah. James 5, verse 16 through 17. This is important because of what James says about Elijah's humanity. James calls Elijah a human being, even as we are. He wasn't superhuman, he was just persistent. Now here is the verse in the New Testament that reshapes everything. Romans 8:26. Wordless groans. The Spirit intercedes for us even when we run out of words. And then Paul continues in verse 28 with the promise most of us only quote halfway. We quote, "All things work together for good," but we skip past the word purpose. We'll come back to that. And Philippians 4 gives us the posture. What prayer is actually supposed to produce in us. Notice what the verse promises. Not your situation will change. It promises peace that guards your heart. That's the foundation. Now let's get to the 4 signs, starting with the one that will surprise you most. Sign number 1. You've stopped needing the answer to feel okay. This sounds backward, but stay with me. It is one of the most biblical signs of a maturing prayer life. Think about the shift that happens when you first start praying about something heavy. Early on, every prayer is white-knuckled. God, you have to fix this or I can't survive. But something changes in people who keep praying. The grip loosens. The have to becomes, I trust you. Paul describes this in Philippians as a peace that transcends understanding. It doesn't make logical sense. If you found even a thread of that peace, the quiet under the unanswered question, your prayers are working. Sign number 2, your prayers have gotten more honest. Early prayers are often polished. We say what we think God wants to hear. But Psalm 46 says, be still. In Hebrew, that word is rapha, which means to let go, to release the grip. The thing we miss. Here in Romans 8:26, that Greek word for intercedes is hyperentigchane. It means the Spirit doesn't just relay our prayers, He advocates beyond them, like a lawyer who knows the full case. When you run out of words, you haven't run out of prayer. The Spirit takes over with perfect intercession. So when your prayers get raw, when you stop performing and start confessing, that's growth. Quick question. Have you ever had a prayer that felt almost too raw to say out loud? Drop a in the comments. The psalmist did this constantly. My God, why have you forsaken me? Is a prayer, not a loss of faith. If your prayers have gotten more real, more desperate, more honest, that is a sign something is opening up in you. Sign number 3. You've started noticing small things you would have missed before. 1 Kings 19. Elijah is burnt out, hiding in a cave, done with everything. God doesn't show up in the earthquake, not in the wind, not in the fire. God comes in what the Hebrew calls kol demama daka, a still small voice, or more literally, the sound of thin silence. When you've been praying persistently, you start to hear that frequency, the thin silence underneath the noise. A friend says the right word at the right moment. A verse jumps off the page. A door opens that wasn't there yesterday. These aren't coincidences. They're the answer coming in the frequency of thin silence. Prayer tunes the ear. Sign number 4. And this is the one that actually brings me to my knees every time. Sign 4. You are becoming the kind of person who could handle the answer. This is where we return to Romans 8:28 and that word purpose we skipped over. The good God is working toward is being conformed to the image of Jesus. That is his purpose for you. So when God hasn't changed your circumstances, he may be changing you so the circumstances can change. Isaiah 40:31. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. The word hope there is kavah in Hebrew. It means to wait with expectant twisting, like a rope being braided stronger. Every day you've kept praying through silence, you've been braided stronger. That is not nothing. That is everything. And here is the one thing Hebrews 11 makes plain. Faith is not the absence of waiting. Faith is what waiting produces. Confidence, assurance. Those are not the words of someone who got what they wanted. They're the words of someone who waited. So what does this actually look like on a Tuesday morning when the alarm goes off and nothing has changed? Maybe you've been praying for a prodigal child who still hasn't come home. You've prayed that prayer so many times the words feel worn smooth, like river stones. Here is the sign. You haven't stopped praying. That itself is the evidence that something is at work in you. Maybe you've been praying about a marriage that feels more like a ceasefire than a covenant. Sign 2. Your prayers for your spouse have gotten less demanding and more compassionate. That's not giving up, that's growing. Maybe the prayer is about your health, or a career that feels like a dead end, or loneliness that won't lift. Sign 3. You've started catching moments of unexpected beauty in the middle of the hard season. A sunset stops you cold. A stranger's kindness undoes you. A worship song makes your eyes sting. That noticing, that thin silence breaking through, is God speaking in the frequency prayer has taught you to hear. And sign 4, look at you. You're still here. You haven't walked away from faith, even when it was hard. That is not a small thing. The enemy's goal is to make you quit. The fact that you haven't is a victory. 1 John 5:14 tells us something that reframes the whole idea of unanswered prayer. He hears us, not he will eventually hear, present tense, right now. Every single prayer you've prayed has been heard. So if you're in a season of silence right now, if the answer hasn't come, hear this. Silence is not absence. God's silence is not God's distance. He is closer than you think. The 4 signs are still true even now. Peace growing quietly, honesty deepening, your ear attuning, and you becoming. You are not being ignored, you are being formed. And that is a mercy far greater than a quick fix. Keep praying, keep showing up. The answer may still be coming, and you are becoming ready for it. If this gave you even a little peace tonight, subscribe and tell me in the comments. Which of those 4 signs did you need to hear most? I'll see you in the next one.